My name is Elizabeth from Elizabeth Magical Garden. Here is where I empower women to reclaim their authentic power, embrace their inner wisdom, and transform life's most challenges. Transitions into profound opportunities for spiritual growth and self-discovery. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. Subscribe to the newsletter at Elizabeth Magical Garden, as well as check out my podcast at Elizabeth Magical Garden, which goes live every single Thursday. Hey guys, welcome back to Elizabeth Magical Garden, a magical garden waiting for the stars. Guys, I am at a different location, so you heard me to yourself for a little bit. Guys, I wanted to give praises and glory to God. You know, we have to give the praises first. We have to say thank you, which I believe we have to. And I'm sure you feel the same way too. Let's give honor and praises to God. Happy Thursday. I pray that everybody is well, and I pray that everybody is in great spirits. It's a beautiful, lovely day. And I just believe that giving thanks and looking forward to what's to come is the true glories that we can aspire to, right? So, give you a little FYI. Okay, so this is a location that I will be frequenting in the future, because I do have some meetings that I have to take care of, and I said to myself, you know what, I can also go live here. So here we are, and I'm just like so grateful, you know what I mean? A lot of times we focus on the things, or I should say we tend to focus on the things that is just not serving us, the things that is giving us strife, the things that's not working to our capabilities, right? To you know, the things that we cannot control, we want to focus on. But what about the things that we can control, the things that we do have power over? We can start right now. Right now, you have the ability to start exactly where you are. Right now, with whatever resources you have the capability to move forward in life and make something of yourself, whatever that is. It's not about a rule book, you know what I mean? Because one of the things I realized is that people like to offer their opinions. And you know what? In not too many ways, I'm offering my opinion as well. But here's the thing, right? If that opinion that you may or may not ask for is not resonating with you, you don't have to take it. You do not have to accept something in your life that you do not resonate with, right? And it leads me to a post that I wrote. Is actually live on my blog, which is Elizabeth Magical Garden. Be sure to check that out. All the links will be down below. And it was put upon my heart to write this article. I remember the other day, it just like the words was just flowing, and it was just amazing, because a lot of times when I sit in front of my computer, I don't schedule. I usually have a idea of what I want to discuss, but a lot of times I don't like in for word. Some people like plan ahead, and they have all these different ideas that come and then they resonate with. But a lot of times for me, I just let the spirit take me and then do what I have to do, because I try to do it the other way, where I would plan every idea and then move forward, and it just didn't feel authentic. It just didn't feel like it was meaningful. I mean, it was meaningful, but it just didn't feel the same way as if I let it flow. And again, I usually have a broad spectrum of what I want to discuss with you guys, or what I want to write, but I like the juices to be flowing. So for those who may or may not know, giants used to walk the earth. And you'll read more about this in Genesis, right? They were giants. I believe they were angels that were mating with human beings. So there were giants roaming the earth, and there was this one giant, and his name was Goliath, right? He was destroying, he was doing the things, he was doing too much, right? He was destroying people's crop, he was murdered, he was unaliving people as well. And David, right? David was the one who came and slayed the dragon, the giant, right? And the earth where everybody was afraid and fear was all over, was roaming through the earth, and everybody was running every which way, and it just let people like leave and feel in a way where they just couldn't see this giant being destroyed, right? Because he was a giant. Everybody's like what, maybe up to his like, not even up to his ankles, right? And everybody was fleeing, and nothing was happening. Nobody was standing up to this giant until David came. And he was able to slay this giant with a slingshot and a pebble. With a slingshot and a pebble, he was able to destroy and slay this giant. And of course, well, if you don't know, you could read. It's, I believe it's in. Well, the giant, knowing that there were giants that used to roam the earth, that's in Genesis. I don't remember exactly where the story lies when he did do that. But the thing about it is, he was able to slay the giant with what the tools he had. What would have had happened if he would have decided to say, well, like the only thing I have is a slingshot and a rock. It's not gonna do anything. I might as well run like everybody else. But no, he took a chance. He took a chance and used the very tools that God has given him. How many times have we, I know for myself, I am definitely guilty of that, believe that the tools that we have does not resonate with the life that we want to live with the we believe that the tools that we have does not allow us to move forward in life and propel us into a different way. How many times do we feel that it's no why write that book, right? Why even write that book? Because we never wrote a book before. Why should you start that business? Because you know nobody in your family ever started a business before, right? What about if Oprah Winfrey, everybody know who Oprah is. I mean, I would be shocked if you don't know who she is, right? At this point in time in her life, in her career. But she came from a very small town. She was an impoverished child. She didn't have much, right? And I remember, I believe there was a story that she said that there was one Christmas, um, she didn't have, there was no gifts underneath the tree. They didn't, she didn't have, her family didn't have any money to give her gifts, and she dreaded to go to school. She was like so sad because after the holidays, everybody, the kids like to come back to school and say like, what did you get? I got this. And everybody starts showing all the gifts or speaking about the gifts that they have. And she, was really sad because she knew she didn't have anything to say. And what happened was, the churchgoers, they were going around and donating their time to give back to the community, and they came to her house and they gave her gifts, and she was able to have gifts on Christmas. This is something that she was so gracious to share with us, right? And what about if those people, if people like that donate their time, what about if they say, well, it's no use, you know what I mean, like, let somebody else take care of it. What use is helping one student, one child? Like, what would that do? Here it is. She to this day remembers the story. That act, that one act, enabled her to have hope. And I would say, with that being in the back of her mind is also one of the big reasons why she has donated and has been such a powerhouse in other people's lives. You just don't know when you just don't know what you're doing or the thing that you have that can actually save somebody's thought process. Literally changed their life around. I know for me, it's been so many books, guys. If I tell you how many books at this point, right? It's been so many books, so many people that I have deemed to be my mentor, that who only knows if I ever meet them, right? But they have touched my life in such a way that I could never repay. You just don't know. So what about David was like, oh, you know what? Why even why even try to slay this dragon? I mean, I keep saying dragon. Well, you know what? Dragon, but we're gonna say giant. Why should I slay this giant when everybody else is running around? Everybody else is running for their lives, and I need to pack up and I need to run too. What about if he did that? Then this giant would have continue raiding and pillaging all the people and their loved ones. But he had faith. He took the time to use the tools that he had in order to make a difference. And I believe God gave him the ability to slay that giant. Guys, you have the ability to slay that giant, whatever that giant is. Whether it's turning your life around, whether it's quitting that addiction, whatever it is that you think that is, you believe that is a giant in your life, I kid you not, if you say today, I no longer, I no longer am the person that does this, you will see. Take my word, you will no longer be the same. If you truly believe that you have changed, you have changed. There is I didn't make this up. This I actually heard this before, about this person that said, matter of fact, I think she was somebody, I believe she's an influencer, I think on Instagram, a girl, I don't even know, but I do believe she have a couple of books. I think I bought one of her books, but I don't remember her name, because it was somebody, when you just, again, reading, when you come across information and then you, like, in the spirit, it's like, get this book or get this information. That's pretty much what I did. I just bought her book, and I don't even follow her, but I just purchased her book because it resonated with me at the time. So anyway, I remember she was saying that there was this person that she was working with, and he was a heavy smoker. He was smoking cigarettes. And he consistently was like, every couple of minutes, I used to be a cigarette smoker back in the day, like in my 20s, okay? And those cigarette breaks are a thing. So he would always go out for breaks, and then one day she noticed that he wasn't going out for breaks. He wasn't no longer taking cigarette breaks. And she said to him, she said, I noticed, she said, oh, so you're not going out for for a smoke or cigarette? And he said, he said to her, do you know what he said to her? He said, I am not a smoker. He said, I am not a smoker. And from that time on, she noticed that he never went out for a cigarette. I'm going to even I'm going to go even further with you. I mentioned that I used to smoke cigarettes. In my 20s, it was a nasty habit that I picked up. Yes, nasty habit, because like I never appreciated, like, that's one thing about, like, if you smoke cigarettes, you don't realize how strong that smell is until you stop smoking cigarettes. And for those who don't smoke cigarettes and you smell somebody that smokes, you know the difference, right? And I didn't grow up in a house that smoked cigarettes. It was something that I acquired like after high school, like, oh, let's go get that's when they used to sell what is it called? Lucy's? That's what it used to be called in the hood. Is it, what is it? Is it Lucy? Loose leaf? Whatever. Anyway, it was a single cigarette that you could purchase in the store. At the time, I believe it was a quarter. Now you can see how long ago, because I don't believe you could get anything for a quarter like that. So I went and I purchased. I used to purchase. We used to purchase cigarettes, and well, not even. I'm trying to get the word right. We used to purchase singular cigarettes. Okay, and through purchasing those singular cigarettes, I developed a habit. I developed a habit smoking cigarettes. I'm not proud of it, and which I didn't like, because my son was just like, "Mom, you smoking cigarettes?" I'm a young mother, so of course. Anyway, so I used to smoke cigarettes, and one day I never will forget this. I will never forget this. I actually repeated this to my son the other day. I was outside on a cigarette break, and this man, he, I want to say out of nowhere, he says to me, he goes like this. He goes, he was like, your angels can't get to you because of all the smoke. What? My angels cannot get to me because of the smoke? Now, whether or not it's true is besides the point. And for a person like myself, that's the last thing that I need to hear. I need all my angels. Excuse me. I need all my blessings that's going to be here for me, that is here for me. And when he said that, guys, when he said that to me, I tell you, I quit that day. I stopped, and I stopped. Let me tell you something. And it's not like, oh, you didn't have a because some people are like, oh, because you didn't smoke long enough. No, I was smoking for a little bit. I was smoking for a little bit, enough to say that it was a habit. Okay, and I cold turkey stopped that very day. That's how much I wanted it. That's how much my blessings meant to me. I stopped that day. What you're not gonna do is put that in my psyche, and and every time I smoke a cigarette, now because it was like out of nowhere. Now every time I smoke a cigarette, it's in my psyche to believe that my angels cannot get to me because I am smoking a cigarette. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I stopped. I stopped that very day. And I say this to say that whether you stop cold turkey, whatever you're doing, I just want to let you know it's possible. Whatever you truly want, you definitely can have. Okay, we live in a society where everything is like an excuse. Well, I can't do this because this. Even for myself, I get on myself at times. I give myself grace, but I also am stringent with myself, because there are times where I want to make excuses as well, and there is times where I'm sure that I still do. But the truth of the matter is, if you truly want something, you definitely can get it. It's how much do you really want the thing? I want my blessings. Okay, I was here for my blessings. What you're not going to do is tell me that the smoke is in the way of my blessings. That scared the how you say bejeevers out of me. Okay, and I honestly believe that he was a godsend. I believe that he was an angel. Okay, that was used to speak that into my spirit. When David slayed Goliath, I believe the Holy Spirit, God put in his heart to have the courage to conquer and move past his fears and still get and been able to win. Be able to win, but he had to move past those fears. You think that he wasn't afraid? You think that he wasn't afraid with a slingshot and a pebble? You think that he didn't think that he was mad out of his mind while he was standing there with his little self? And you gotta remember, like, if you read the story about David, he was scrawny. He wasn't like a big, you know, brawly guy. But yet and still, he took courage and moved forward in his belief. So how much more could we move forward in our belief system and understanding that we too, it's not too late. A lot of times when we reach our mid age, especially if you are in your 50s and your 60s and your 70s, you tend to believe that your best years has passed. You tend to believe that all the things that you went through in life has has put you in such a way where you no longer have the tools or the capability to move forward in life, to conquer and take those dreams and make them your own. Well, I'm here to debunk that thought process. You know, it's said that most people, not all, a lot of people that found themselves in true success didn't find success until they were well into their 50s. Martha Stewart started her business that has catapulted. I don't know if I believe she's like a billionaire at this point, or I know she's a millionaire, okay, but I don't know her network, but I know she is well off, okay. Martha Stewart, and she started her business in her 50s. A lot of women have started in their latter years. And think about it, it makes sense. It makes sense, right? Because usually women are having children, right? And it's not to say that you cannot be a girl boss while you have children. I'm not saying that. Of course, it's been proven. But a lot of women, because they were homemakers, right? They were giving of themselves, and majority, if not all, their attention was put towards their children. It wasn't until their later years that they started their businesses. It wasn't until their later years that they atoned some type of success that was able to be maintained because the focus was on them. Because the focus was on them. And the reason why they were able to achieve that, in my humble opinion, because they put that focus on them and they allowed themselves to move forward past fear. They didn't say to themselves, well, you know what, I don't have what it takes because my best years have passed. They didn't say to themselves, oh, well, you know what, or I should say, they didn't let the fear of not being youthful from from enabling them to move forward in their careers. They didn't let the fact that they were no longer in their 20s or their 30s or even 40s to say that they are now like cast to the wind. No, what they said is that I have gained wisdom. When you are in your mid age, it's safe to say that you have overcame a lot of things. So I don't know why a lot of women, in particularly, especially when they are in their menopausal years, that they feel like, oh well, you know, what do I have? You have wisdom. This is something that no one can buy. You have hands-on experience. So you cannot tell me that you do not have something to offer and to help usher someone along the way that is just now getting in a phase of life that you have already overcame, right? Right? So what giants are you running from? What giants are you running from? What are the things that you know for sure that you are running from? What what are you running from? Obtaining a better health regimen? Are you running from not going to the gym and moving your body the way you should so you can be more mobile and have energy to do the things that you are dreaming of? Because listen, it takes energy. It takes energy to move forward. It takes a lot of energy to move past your fears and move forward anyway. You know, listen, and this is not about body shaming, right? Because no matter what size you are, there is something that you can do. Okay, there are exercises that you can do while you are sitting. While you are sitting, there are exercises for every area of life. For those who don't know, I'm a ballerina. Okay, so I started practicing, or I should say, I added ballet to my repertoire about 2 years ago. So for those who don't know, I had recovered from a back injury twice. Okay, and I did everything. I was going to the gym, blah blah blah. I did and I had a trainer and it wasn't on his watch, it was on my watch. But anyway, did that, and I just couldn't. It just felt like everything I was doing was working against itself. And one of the things I realized, especially when you are going through menopause, the things that used to work no longer works in the same way. It's you need a as you get older, your workouts should be, okay, at least I know it works for me, and I'm speaking from my own experience. Soft workouts are tea. Okay, soft workouts, going out for walks, yoga, um, ballet. But we're gonna get back on the ballet. Um, Pilates, uh, doing. I like to run, and that's something I believe that. Oh, and calisthenics. I believe that these workouts enabled me to start running because at one point, it's funny, when I was going hard in the gym, I wasn't able to run the way I'm able to run now. And going back to the ballet, what people don't realize is ballet is a sport. Okay, it's not just because you see those ballerinas doing their things and they are moving in such a graceful way. They are practicing behind the scenes and they're doing exercises that allow them to keep the poses and even get into the poses. Okay, it's a whole it's a whole it's a whole thing when it comes to moving their bodies, right? So I started practicing ballet, and one of the things I noticed is that it allowed me to get stronger in areas that I never knew that I would ever become strong in. Number one, my back. Because of the frequent leg lifts and the way that you hold a pose, it strengthens. And it makes sense because one of the key components of a ballerina is her core. And a woman's core is everything. And a lot of times I believe that women suffer from back injuries and has back issues is because our core tends to not be as strong as it should be. And a lot of times it's because we had children, and children, when you have children, it changes your body, it changes your whole system. And if you're not keeping up with the way you contract your abdomen, you will have back issues. And another thing, sitting is not your back's friend, right? Every morning, one of the things I practice a nice soft workout, but I also do leg lifts. I do the things in order for me to experience other things. And this is what I'm saying about conquering your giants, because it's not so much that I love to work out. What I do is I love the way the workout makes me feel. I love the fact that I'm able to move in a way and keep up with life because I'm taking time to move forward, right? So what are your giants? Are you running from? Are you running from starting anything, starting a new regiment, you know, A lot of times people complain like, oh, there's not enough time in the day. Are you waking up earlier? Are you waking up earlier? What time are you waking up in the morning? What time are you waking up in the morning? Or are you going to bed so late that waking up in the morning cannot be a factor, cannot even be an opportunity for you because you are not sacrificing time at night, right? But if you really want to be a quote unquote morning person, what you will do is prepare the night before to go to bed earlier so you can wake up earlier, right? I wake up at 5:30. You know what's so funny? I wake up at 5:30 no matter what, right? Even on the weekends. I toyed with the whole I'm an all or nothing girl, so I toyed with the whole concept of working out at a certain amount of time, like working out from I'm saying working out maybe like from Monday to Saturday, get up at 5:30, and then Sunday sleep in. That doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me because the way my mind goes, it's like, oh, okay, so we don't have to do it this day, then maybe we could do it. No, 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 no. Every day, every day I wake up around, not around, at that time. I sit up and I get up. I have everything available for me that's going to enable me to move forward because this is when it's the quietest for me. This is when I'm able to write in my journal without interruptions. I'm able to have a special devotion with God. I'm able to sit down and read the word pleasantly without feeling like anything, the world is still kind of like quiet and sleep at around the time I wake up, right? So it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. It enables me to live it enables me to have and live a quality of life that I know I deserve and that is important to me. And this is why I do it, right? Creativity. Are you running from writing that book or starting that business or leaving that job? What what are you running from? Or is it because you never done it before? Because you don't know anybody in your immediate circle that have achieved that goal? Is it because you feel like somebody's going to laugh at you? Somebody, let me tell you something what I've noticed, because these are the things that I've suffered from, right? Nobody cares. Not the way you think. Everybody is in their own world. Everybody is in their own world. Everybody is focusing and looking at themselves. Everybody is in their own head. Everybody is living a conscious life within themselves. So the energy that it takes to focus on you, that you believe that people like, ha ha ha, look at, no. It's like, it's to the point where if somebody is on it like that, it's like at this point I would just, I kind of feel sorry for that person because it's like you have nothing else going on, that this person is the focus. You know what I mean? Because the time it takes to focus on somebody else, you could be focusing on yourself. And at this big age, who wants to waste time? Right? So give yourself grace. And the biggest hater that I believe that is always a hater is yourself. Like, I don't even, girl, I can't give you the answers to that. I'm just here to motivate you and coast you into the next help you be that like energized vitamin that's going to have you think, because this is what I do when I come here and I speak to you guys. I am like the energizer bunny. I am here to push some positive good energy into you guys, so you, when you're done watching this, you can take and think and lament and make it your own. That is my mission. And if I help one person do that, I have done my job. Seriously. So, the biggest hater is yourself, right? The person that you have to conquer is yourself, because the way the human mind works is whenever we are doing something different, whenever we are moving in a direction that consciously we're not used to, the first thing that comes about is fear because of the unknown. And honestly, we are designed to know. We are. We are designed to know. We are designed naturally to have a level of confidence because we were created by the Most High God. We have God's DNA. This is what I believe within us. And this is where faith comes in because faith allows you to move forward knowing that you are not in this by yourself, knowing that you staying on that path and making that decision to move forward in your endeavors is going to produce fruit. And you know what? If you want to go in the scientific route, anything that you do is going to change. If you do anything that you do over and over, it's going to affect something. So this goes good or bad, right? So if you have a conscious thought and you constantly have a way of thinking and you're thinking positive, guess what? Life is going to look positive. Things is going to appear to go your way. Things will go your way. But if you come in with a negative thought like, oh, I shouldn't do this, oh, I don't have the capability of doing this, I don't know, guess what? You're not. I believe there's a saying, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. So there's that, right? Okay, so three positive takeaways. Again, I wrote a whole article about this. Be sure to check out the links down below and you can read the whole article. So, step one, move forward with courage. Even if only even if you only have a little to start with. No, you can start where you are. You don't need, let me tell you something. You don't need a lot to start. Let's, for instance, YouTube channel. When I first started my YouTube channel, oh, I just made, guys, do you know that my 10-year anniversary just passed? 10 years, a whole decade that I've been on YouTube. Go figure. Anyway, when I first started, I don't even know what camera that was. It was a gift. And I turned on the camera and I never looked back. But I remember it was a point in my journey where I felt like, oh, I can't wait until I get this particular camera. I can't wait until I have this, I have that, I have this, I have that. I was obsessed with the tools because I believed in my head that if I had these particular tools, like it would just like be so much better for my channel. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's always good to have the best tools, but if you don't have certain things, you can aspire to those things. You can start with your phone. You know, now that we have these cell phones are like they're little computers. You can do everything on a cell phone these days. So you can write a whole book on your cell phone. Okay. So there's really no excuse to why you can't start where you are because guess what? The tools that you guys have today, I didn't have, right? For a very long time. I would save my money. I would, eventually, because I fell in love with editing at the time, eventually I would, and then I remember when I got Final Cut Pro, Final Cut, a little funny right there. It took me a long time. It took me a while to acquire because I had other responsibilities, but little by little, I was able to acquire these things. So use what you have. Whatever you have, use it now. To this day, I am a firm believer of starting with yourself and believing in yourself. There's I'm gonna save that for another one. Oh, I was gonna get into a whole because I gotta, that's a whole another segment that I'm going to dedicate that to. So I don't even want to start right now. So start with you. Start with what you have right now. Start with what's in your hands right now. Whatever you have, whatever tools you have, start with what you have right now to move forward in life, right? I mentioned when starting stops when I used to smoke cigarettes, I quit cold turkey. This man, I told you the story about the guy that said he's no longer a smoker. It's all in your mind. Whatever you say that you are, you are. Whatever you say you're not, you're not. Okay. I used to sit. FYI, I used to sit. Fun fact. I used to sit with a pen in my hand while I would watch television. This is how serious I was. Because you do have, muscle memory is a real thing. So I would just, when I felt that, that urge, I would put it, and it worked. You gotta do whatever you, it might sound silly, but I did it and it worked. So, anyway, next one is God can use the gifts and tools already in your hand. I'm going to repeat that. God can use the gifts and tools already in your hand. Guys, first of all, God has given you those tools, okay? So it's not even about he could use it. He gave them to you, knowing that what they have to offer. So whatever you think is not enough, God said it's more than enough, okay? It's more than enough. It's whatever you have right now is more than enough for God to use through you. So don't shortchange yourself. I believe a lot of times people suffer from this like underestimating their gifts because it comes natural to them. A lot of times when things come natural to people, people tend to not think that it's like the bomb.com when in actuality it is. So don't shortchange yourself with the natural gifts that you have. If you like, for myself, I have always been a person to speak life into people. I've been told so many times you should do it just, and for a long time I didn't really look at it in any particular way because it was something that I just did naturally. I didn't think that that was a real gift, and Lord and behold, it was the whole time. Okay, my ability to speak, my ability to pour into people naturally, and the things and the downloads that I get from listening to others and helping others is something that God has put within me, and again, when things come easy to you, um, you tend to believe like it's not really like a thing when in actuality it is. So don't shortchange yourself. Last but not least, last but not least, faith. Faith grows stronger when you keep moving forward. I will repeat that. Faith grows stronger when you keep moving forward, when you keep God in your mind's eyes, when you keep moving forward and believing and knowing and pushing and continuing on a path that you know in your heart. Listen, it's not about, we're not here to convince anybody at this point in our lives, okay? This is not about convincing. This is not about convincing the people that are the naysayers. We're not here for, listen, we're not here for the naysayers. The naysayers, the people that's nay, the people that are saying nay, God bless them. We send them off with love. We send them off with love, guys. We send them off with love, and we allow room for the people that are saying yes. The people that are saying yes, we are allowing space for. Why hold on to something or someone that does not want to be? Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do that to them? Why keep anything or anyone that does not want to be there? And this is something that I had to learn, especially when I was younger. Not saying I'm old now, but you know what I mean. Why keep anybody in your life or anything in your life that does not want to be part of it? Doesn't make any sense. And it's wasted time because that seat could have been for someone that wants to be there, that wants to have to acquire or hear what you have to say, that person that is looking to invest in someone like yourself. They're aching, they're aching to have someone to pour into. You never know. Some, for all you know, there could be an anonymous person that is looking to do a good deed and pouring into your business. That is looking to publish a book. You just don't know. And you know what they say, stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right? And one of the ways that I believe that you are able to stay ready is when you are walking with God. Because let me tell you something, when you're walking with God, that's all you need. That's all you need. Once you are walking with the Creator God, you have already acclaimed the good news. And at that point, it's just buckle your seat belts, honey. Okay? Guys, if this helped you in any way, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and hit that bell so you be notified every time I upload a video. I have a new podcast that goes live every single I should say I have a new episode on my podcast that goes live every single Thursday. I also have a YouTube channel for that particular channel. I would love to have you on that community as well, which is Elizabeth Magical Garden Podcast. All the links will be down below. Guys, stay blessed, stay in peace, and stay empowered. Peace.